Alright, welcome to the first ever session of SkyView Social Sports. I'm Avery.
I'm James.
And we'd like to welcome you to our first ever talk here. You know, kind of the interesting thing that we're liking to put this spin of a sport and social talk is that we're gonna walk and go to different great spots around the country and give you fantastic views while we talk sports and other issues that we'd like to discuss together. And you know, I got the skyline for you today. James, where are you at?
I am in the beautiful Tempe, Arizona, right off of ASU campus, A Mountain, as I like to call it, with the big A in the front of the mountain. Not really a mountain as much as you'd like to say, but Tempe Town Lake off in the distance you can see here. What I love about this spot is you can look around and just see the valley at any time of the day, really showing its liveliness. You know, we're at morning rush hour here. I can see out to Papago, Camelback off in the distance, other view of the mountain. It's just great. It's great. We want to bring this to you in a way where we're not limiting ourselves. We're definitely going to try to bring the most hot topics, forefront issues, if you will. Sometimes something you might not have heard of before, maybe a perspective you haven't heard of before. But we're not going to limit ourselves in any way here at SkyView Social Sports. So that's one thing we want to let you know.
Yeah, all right, sounds good, James. So in our first session here, you know, what's going to be our first bullet point today? 2017
Players Championship held at TPC Sawgrass. The returning champion is Jason Day, coming in as a highly touted favorite. I would expect that you probably thought he was going to do pretty well this tournament, right, Avery?
You know, I was going to think so. You know, he hasn't been playing the best golf, but he won last year. He seems to like the course. So, you know, I thought he'd be coming in and playing some good golf, but, you know, that's not how it turned out.
And it's weird because a lot of people came in playing great golf. We looked at Dustin Johnson, really came in strong. The only problem with him was the Masters, the first major of the year held at Augusta. He came out with a back injury, walked to the first tee, kind of a strange moment there. Came into this tournament feeling a little bit better, talking to the press about how, you know, he's ready for this tournament, but still upsetting that he didn't really do as well as he did. Jason Day, completely, it just looks like his head's not in the right place with his mom not feeling too well. Rory McIlroy, same thing, just signed that big deal with TaylorMade. Surprised he didn't do too well either.
Yeah, you know, talking about Rory, he was talking all week that he had some back issues. Don't know if that's a part of the honeymoon deal he had going on or not.
Ooh.
But
also,
yeah, I don't know.
Did you hear that he's supposed to be playing with his ring on? Now, they talked about that during the broadcast. Is that a smart move? Would you play with your ring on?
You know, that's a good question. I've never really thought of that before. But I mean, if he's comfortable with it, then I'd say why not. But if it's a big ring, if it's hindering his swing, then he needs to take that off.
I mean, that's one of those things, man. You really tinker with your swing too much. He's signing with TaylorMade. He's playing with a new ball. You know that whole phase he went through with Nike, the transition from Titleist, saying he feels fine with the clubs and whatnot. I don't know. There's a lot of things he's tinkering with, especially trying to be the next Tiger Woods, which we won't even dive into that conversation today. Way too much time we needed on that subject. The GOAT, rest in peace. Still, looking back at Rory's performance, not too well, but let's shed all the light from that. We shed enough on the losers. Let's look at Siwoo Kim, a 21-year-old who's played 17 events already this year. The kid's kind of taking a good approach to golf, playing as many possible tournaments as a physical human being can.
Yeah. You know, when we're that young, because we're both you're 20, I'm 21. You know that our bodies seem limitless, and so like I don't really have a problem with that playing so much. I mean, he came out, played well this week, so he won. So it doesn't seem to be bothering him. But down the road, you would think he'd have to turn that down a little bit.
I mean, they were mentioning on the broadcast. I don't know if you were able to see it. He was pointing to a little back tweak to know that he
I did see
won.
that. Yeah.
His technique is great, obviously. All the PGA Tour players kind of have their kinks and quirks of the swing, but he has a really great swing. Really looking at his foundation, base of his legs really great. Just really played well. And let's talk about the choke job real quick of Ian James Poltep.
Oh yeah, well, you know, I think we can. I'll speak for both of us here and say that we don't like the guy very much, but you know, it was kind of funny to see him he didn't play to win yesterday, especially down the stretch. What do you have to say about that?
He didn't, and I'd say, there's kind of there's an aspect of understanding he was playing to, make sure he kept that tour card that he just recently, he earned that back, I believe, and this one was kind of
very true.
PGA Tour exempt, but I don't think he was worried about being PGA Tour exempt for 5 years. He kind of just wanted to make sure he kept it, but that shank, I know that's a bad word.
Oh yeah, I just twinge whenever I hear that one.
Man, that was mean type shake right there. I love that.
Yeah, that was interesting because it was a layup shot. It wasn't like he was going for the green there, and he still put it in the woods.
Yeah, that definitely reminds me of some of my shots, but sorry, that just bothered me.
Yeah, but one thing I do want to say about yesterday is without Tiger, I think the game of golf is in trouble.
I think that's a fair assessment. I definitely do.
Yeah. Just watching yesterday, I knew that the leaderboard wasn't as jam-packed as maybe a Masters or US Open would be, but it was still like, nobody was up there that I was like really trying to root for, and it was interesting. It's like I wasn't being a very being obsessed with golf really, and even me not being able to really watch it with too much interest, I think is troubling. Commentators and past players always say like, oh, golf is in a good spot, with the young players coming up and everything. And I honestly think without someone dominating the sport like Tiger did 10, 15 years ago, I think the game is in some serious trouble.
It's definitely, and you have to look at this. Some of the miscut players, very important in the role of golf, as they're saying, growing the game, as you'd like to say. Jordan Spieth missed the cut. Bubba Watson missed the cut. Ricky Fowler nowhere to be found. Guys who are supposed to be leading the pack in the very beginning miss just terrible play, and then you're missing the cut. That's one of those things. If you don't have those key superstars, as you're referring to, Ian James, not really a superstar unless you're talking about no laying up, kind of bashing him and hating Hunter, but
yeah, that's
just the thing, is you don't have those superstars. And Siwoo Kim, nothing against him, great player, great swing, young kid, making a lot of money now after that purse. No superstar. He's not a superstar. He's not going to attract the attention. So no matter what the people out there say, golf is growing still. Not really. I agree with you there. Tiger Woods definitely, you can see that effect of it not being as important of a sport on the Players' Championship, huge tournament that golf has every year.
This is going to be interesting to see as the season goes on, as we get into the last three majors of the year. See if DJ had a great year last year. J Day, he had a great year last year, but we're seeing these guys, DJ, Jason, Jordan, Ricky, Rory, they're just not playing dominant golf anymore, and so it's going to be interesting to see if anybody else kind of picks up the slack here in the coming majors.
And that's what's crazy, is a lot of people in sports don't like when you have that dominant dynasty, that strong player who's always winning, but you really need that to attract the viewers. I mean, you look back at it in Tiger Woods, they were tuning in to see, can he do it again? Can he win again? It's one of those things where, not to segue too perfectly into the next subject, but LeBron James, I mean, he is coming back and back and back to the finals, and we're just wondering and asking ourselves, can he possibly do it again? And right now, he's proving that he can. Do you think we're going to have a repeat of the finals? I know we have Game 7 of the Boston Celtics versus the Washington Wizards tonight, but do you think we can see another repeat of the finals?
I think so. I don't think this Game 7 tonight's gonna have any matter in the fact of who goes to the finals on the East side. I think it's LeBron all the way. He swept the first two. They swept the first two series that they had. At some point you got to think, all right, can anybody stop him? I don't think anybody can stop him. I don't think John Wall can stop him. I don't think Isaiah Thomas can stop them. I think they're on their way. Now on the West side, it's going to be a little bit more interesting. Now that Kawhi is out for the Spurs, they had that huge lead. He has that ankle injury. All of a sudden, here come the Warriors. So, I think it's at least a 75% chance in my mind that we see a repeat of the finals of last year, which, I'd actually be interested to see. I don't know about you.
Right. No, I think it would be an interesting final still. You look at it from this point, I think the best team, if you were to kind of put into perspective, the team that has the best chance to take down LeBron from now is definitely the Celtics. You're looking at Crowder, you're looking at the depth that the Celtics have brought to the inside all year. There's a reason they're the first seed, but to take it over to the West real quick, I mean, that Kawhi Leonard injury is just huge. There's nobody more important because you need someone on the Spurs. They're technically sound still. Don't get me wrong. They're technically sound. You can see when they just whooped on the Rockets without some of their players. They still, can take the ball down low and just really fundamentally play great. But when you don't have that key scorer, which is what you need when you get half-court play, you slow the game down, which the Warriors are going to now try to speed it up as quick as possible. Keep going. That's what they're going to do. That's how they know how to play. But the Warriors, you need that. When you're playing the Warriors, you need someone who you can go to and score consistently. Pau Gasol, is he really that anymore? Back when he was with Kobe winning championships, he was. Nowadays, not so much. Aldridge, another big man. It's not a big man's game anymore, but that's why LeBron transcends the game. He's a big man who can play like a point guard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just think that Cavs team is just too strong for anything that the East has to offer right now.
Right, and I was having a conversation with a few people recently. Do you see Kyrie as a top 3 point guard in the game right now?
Now that's a different harder question. Off the top of my head, I'd say no. Is he a great shooter? Yes. But I don't know.
He's a great ball handler.
Yes.
Here's where I take it is, as Kyrie, okay, you look at the stats, he's not in the top of many. But here's the thing is he does have LeBron James on his team. He's grown into a great player. May he just be the perfect point guard for LeBron? Maybe. But I give him he's growing into the top 3. Is he it right now? We'll see. The finals may have something to say with that. But Russell Westbrook, definitely number 1. Number 2, you're going James Harden, maybe.
Definitely.
But you see that choke
job. I have no idea what happened that night. No idea.
People saying he was drugged and whatnot. I don't know about that. Let's stay away from
please.
For the time. But top 3, John Wall, Isaiah Thomas, that mixture, depending on who wins that, you can see who, maybe is a top 3. But I'm giving Kyrie at least top 5 right now. If he wins the finals again with LeBron, top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with that statement right there. Definitely.
Third topic we're going on to today. Madden 18 came out with their cover boy in so many ways, Tom Brady. And for those Madden fans out there, the Madden curse. Do you think it lives on with Tom Brady?
Do I want to say yes, but do I think it's going to happen? No. Madden, curses are whatever. It's not a curse in my opinion, and especially for somebody like Tom Brady, I think he's going to bulldoze his way right through it.
That's what they said about Gronk. They said that about Gronk.
Yeah, you're very right. You're very right. But just my gut feeling says that he's gonna have another great season, which doesn't make me happy. I'm not very much of a Tom Brady fan. Being a Packer, diehard, and not that we're in the same division or anything, but
Well, I can say as a Bills fan, being in the same division, it sucks. Playing twice a year, it sucks. And when they come to Buffalo, Gronkowski seems to show out until it's a blowout. So I can definitely say that I hope it happens. I usually don't wish injuries on anybody, but Tom Brady is an exception to the rule. I just want to say this though. Here's one thing about the Madden curse. They have picked injury-prone superstars before. I mean, you're looking at guys like Peyton Hillis, which as soon as he was on the cover, he was pretty much out of the league. You're looking at Sean Alexander, you're looking at Adrian Peterson. I mean, they just kind of have this knack of finding people. I mean, Gronkowski, to be honest, is very injury-prone, going through all the knee surgeries. Tom Brady isn't injury-prone. So, I mean, he had that one injury where Matt Castle comes in and makes his career living, going 11 for 5 and signing that big contract that year after. Tom Brady's an injury prone. He may be the exception of the rule, to be honest.
Yeah,
as much as that hurts me to say that.
Yeah, especially when he's protected by the system of Belichick and that great offensive line. You know, when nobody's getting back there, it's kind of hard to get hurt.
Are you saying Tom Brady is a system quarterback? Is that what, Avery, did I just hear that right?
Yeah, you know, that's another discussion for another day, but I'd say yes. I think if you threw him on a team like the Bills or the Browns, I don't think he'd have quite as much success as he's had at the position at the Patriots. Now, what I'm not saying is that he's not a good quarterback. I definitely think he's at least top 5, maybe even top 3, maybe even best that the NFL has ever seen at the quarterback position. However, I think he has benefited greatly from being in the system of Belichick. I mean, just look at all of the backups that have come when he's been suspended or injured in the past, and these quarterbacks have thrived in the system, and then they get popular, other teams pick them up, and all of a sudden they can't throw the ball anymore, and they get hurt. So I definitely think that the system of Belichick has benefited Brady in a big way.
Absolutely, and there's nothing wrong about that. I will say, I just heard the fire department drive by. Hot take of maybe putting Brady on the Bills, and not that hot take, Avery. You're trying to heat me up over in Arizona, and hey, we're trying to stay in the 70s right now. No, but that's a great point. I mean, you really look at guys like Jimmy Garoppolo possibly getting a fat contract coming up. Who knows what Belichick's going to do? Mastermind, we never know. Kind of like Greg Popovich, but you know, you're just right. You know, Jacob Britton, I think was the third string that came in after Garoppolo got hurt after the first 2 games. I mean, he came in and balled out, you know? I mean, it just seems like anyone who is put in that position, if you can breathe and throw a ball 40 yards, you can kind of run the Patriots offense. Not saying you're going to come back 28-3 against the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying, you know? Last bullet point for the first show, I just want to talk about the great superstar that was commemorated yesterday. As I'm sure you know, Buffalo Bills fan, New York Yankees fan, everyone's going to hate me for saying that, but Derek Jeter, forever cemented in the Yankees Hall of Fame now.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, they don't have a single digit available now. What do you think about Derek Jeter being idolized?
I think that's awesome. You know, I never grew up a Yankee fan. Grew up a Diamondback and a Brewer fan. But, you know, always seeing Derek Jeter play for the Yankees, you know, Yankees get a lot of slack against them because, you know, there's been some very, very big controversies with players on their team. And, you know, people hate good teams. And so the Yankees have been very good for very long, pretty much in the entire baseball history. So people hate greatness. But when you look at Jeter, he is such a class act. You know, he has never been in trouble in the media. You know, he never spouted off. You know, there was never any controversy about him. And so you couldn't stop yourself from liking the guy. And so I think yesterday commemorated a lot of that for a lot of people across the country. I mean, it was just a feel-good moment. See all those past players come out to see him in the golf cart riding across the warning track, excuse me. Yeah, it was just good to see. It was just a feel-good moment for me.
You know, and I want to touch on that real quick. You know, him riding around the warning track with his beautiful wife. You know, it's just one of those things where you really put it into perspective. You know, Hannah Davis met him as not knowing he was a baseball player. That's how he was off the field. You know, he touched people's lives without you knowing he was a baseball player. Now, in the on-deck circle, they showed that great video commemorating him. You know, he was talking to the kids. You know, he was showing love to the small little kids who idolized to someday become the shortstop great that he was. You know, whether that turns down to Todd Frazier, who mentions how much he impacted his game. You have 9 players in the MLB who wear the number 2 because of Derek Jeter. Troy Tulowitzki being one of them. You look at Trout, and he grew up in New York, and he mentions how he idolized him. He became obviously a very different 5-tool player, but he loved him as well, you know, growing up in New York. So it's one of those things where he touched so many people in his life, and to see him go out there and see how he touched the fans and kind of brought the city together in a city that's not known, you know, for being the easiest to get along with. No, you know that so well out there right now. You know, it's definitely one of those things where, you know, he definitely transcends not just baseball, but just the sports community and just the community in New York alone. So just want to say a special thank you to Derek Jeter. He has definitely impacted who I am as a man, not only on the field when I used to play, but as off the field nowadays, how I carry myself no matter where I go. Definitely one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned was out of every negative in any day, any game, any interview, always take a positive out of that moment. Him and his father used to go over the moment that they could take out that was positive of a game after every game. And, I've read that in his book, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. That's something you can do on a daily basis. And I think that's important for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching again. This has been Skyview Social Sports. This is Avery signing off.
James signing off. Let us know what you think about in the comments section. Like, retweet, favorite, share, any social media you see this on. We'll be out there talking to you guys weekly. Maybe we'll come to you every once in a while, show you a little slip of the show, background and everything. Let us know what you guys think about the show.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. We'll see you next week, all right? Have a great day.